Hello and welcome to the English YouTuber. So today I'm going to teach you some valuable tips and tricks of how to solve the comprehension, and also I'll help you in summary writing. Before we start, let's first briefly look at the format. So the entire comprehension and summary is out of 20 marks, out of which 12 marks is for the vocabulary and the short questions, and 8 marks is for the summary writing. So when you write the summary, it should not exceed 50 words. I hope you already know all of this. So before we start with the comprehension, I want to give you two important tips. First is answer to the point. In other boards like CBSE and state board, the more you write, the more you score. But in ICSE, if you answer to the point, you get more marks. Because if you beat around the bush and write a lot, then the teacher will think you don't know what the answer is, and that is why you have written so much. So just what is the question, understand, and only write to the point, you will definitely get good marks. And the second is, do not blindly copy answers from the comprehension and write that as your answers. You will not score marks. So you have to write it in your own words, or write synonyms of those words and write the answers. So these are two important tips. Now let me help you how to solve the comprehension. So this comprehension passage is the ICSE paper 1 2023 passage. So this appeared in the year 2023. Okay. So usually what people do, they start reading the comprehension and then go towards the question. Okay. But here I do something different. I don't go through these meaning questions, but because this I can do later. I first read each question and I mark the keywords, so that when I'm reading the passage, I know on which lines should I focus and read more. Why did no one confess to having removed the bell? So why didn't no one confess to the missing bell? Okay. Why did suspicion fall on the sports captain? Suspicion. What made Brian think that it was Mr. Sharma? So Brian, Mr. Sharma. Which sentence in the passage tells you that Mr. Knight thought poorly of Tata's academic performance? So Mr. Knight did not think that he studies well. So which line? So which sentence? So when we write this answer, we have to write, when we are quoting something directly from the passage, you have to put it in double quotes. Why was the accountant a popular man? So why was he popular? Next, I will also read what the summary is. So sometimes what happens, the summary could be the summary of the entire passage, or mostly how it appears is just a part of the passage. You have to summarize that. So let me see what we have to summarize here. In no more than 50 words, describe the effects of the lost bell. So because that was not there, what effects happened? Okay. So I have read the questions well. I know what questions I'm supposed to answer. Then now I will go and read the passage. That huge bell never stopped ringing. It got us out of bed. It summoned us for meals. It rang between class periods. It sent us willingly to bed. Okay, so here usually there's another thing that I follow. When I'm reading, I just write some important words. So here there is order and decorum that is maintained because of the bell. One morning it failed to ring, or rather there was no bell to ring. Someone had removed it and it wasn't found till late in the afternoon. What a glorious day, as there was no bell to rouse us, to awake us. Everyone got up late and there was no morning PT. Some of us missed breakfast too. The teachers got confused and mixed up their classes. That means there was chaos. How could the school manage without it? Confusion reigned. Oh. So this is what happened when there was no bell. So I realized that the summary should come from this paragraph. Okay. Of course, no one owned up. Okay, so why didn't anyone own up? I remember this to be one of the questions. It could have meant expulsion. Okay. So here I'm not going to start writing the answers. I'm still just reading the passage. But I'm going to mark the important sentences which will help me then write the answers easily. Some suspicion fell on the sports captain. Oh yes, so this was another question I remember. Because of our aversion to morning PT. But nothing could be proved. Okay. So I already know that from here, the passage is coming from, the summary is coming from here, and there are two questions that have come from here. No one was very anxious to find the bell. We were quite happy without it. But it was finally discovered hanging from a branch of one of the trees. It may have been Mr. Sharma, surmised Brian. Oh yes, so why did Brian think it is Mr. Sharma? That is also one of the questions. Our maths teacher was known to walk in his sleep, and sleepwalkers did funny things sometimes. It could be Moolchand himself, suggested Cyrus Satralkar. Moolchand was the school chowkidar who also had the job of banging the brass bell at appointed times. Why would he throw it away? He must be as fed up with ringing it as we are of hearing it. This was my theory. Perhaps he wanted a raise in salary. But I remember there is no question regarding Moolchand and the chowkidar. The identity of the culprit remained a mystery. Happily, the senior hockey team went on winning spree against all corners, and a month-end exits were restored. But soon there was another sensation. A girl was admitted to our class. The boys were scandalized. No girl had even studied in our school before. We protested. So because I read the questions, I know that there is only one question that has come from here and there are no questions from here. What's the problem? Asked Mr. Knight, our class master. Haven't you seen a girl before? There is a question with Mr. Knight. But sir, Tata was our spokesman. How will we concentrate on our studies? When did you even concentrate on your studies, Tata? This sentence of Mr. Knight proves that he thought poorly of Tata's academic performance. Are we going co-ed, sir? Adams wanted to know. Not at all, said Mr. Knight. This is a special case. She's the school accounts manager's daughter and he can't afford the girls' school fees. So I'm sure you will make her feel very welcome. The accountant was a popular man. I remember there was a question of why accountant was a popular man. Who also ran the school's tuck shop and allowed most of us a certain amount of credit. At first, Sunita, a new entrant, was a bit of a distraction because although she was very shy and demure, she had lovely curly hair, bright eyes, pink cheeks, and a smile for everyone. All the boys were very polite and attentive to her, and Brian in particular was always ready to help her. Yes, so I have read the passage well. You are free to read it once or twice. It's up to you. And now let's go and solve the questions. So first we will see the first question. For each word given below, choose the correct meaning. Okay. So if you do not know a particular meaning of a word, don't panic. Because you can read the context of the sentence and figure out what it is. The first word is summoned. Okay, so let's see in this passage where the word summoned is. So it's in the first paragraph. That huge bell never stopped ringing. It got us out of bed. It summoned us for meals. So summoned us means it made sure that it told us when to go to our meals. So here summoned is ordered. It ordered us that it is time for our meals and you should go. So it is not polite or it did not shout. And it is not totaled. So it has to be ordered. So you can do theory of elimination here and eliminate. Aversion. Oh, we have heard this word, right? Aversion. I have aversion towards eggs, or I have aversion towards jackfruit. Some suspicion fell on a sports captain because of her aversion to morning PT. That means we disliked it. We did not enjoy. So disliked and did not enjoy can only mean hatred. Cannot be fear, politeness, or creation. The next is restored. Restore means like peace was restored. So restored here means returned definitely. But let's go and see in the passage where the word restored is. And our month end exits were restored. So back to normal. So back to normal is return. So we have completed the meaning. And now let's go towards the question. Why did no one confess to having removed the missing bell? So we already know it is here. So confessed is in the question. In the passage it is owned up. So if you can think of another synonym, like no one admitted to it. This is another synonym. So you can say no one admitted to removing the bell because the punishment could be as severe as an expulsion. The next question. Why did suspicion fall on the sports captain? So the answer you can write, some people suspected the sports captain because they had an aversion towards the morning PT, or they strongly disliked the morning PT. What made Brian think that it was Mr. Sharma? So Brian thought it was their maths teacher, Mr. Sharma, because he used to sleepwalk, and sleepwalkers did many amusing things sometimes. So instead of funny, I'm writing the word amusing. And instead of walk in his sleep, I mentioned it as sleepwalk. So you can change it, and it is not like you have exactly copied from the passage. So I hope you are understanding how to write the answers from the passages. The next question. Which sentence in the passage tells you that Mr. Knight thought poorly of Tata's academic performance? So you can write the answer as it is evident that, evident means prominent. So it is evident that Mr. Knight thought poorly of Tata's academics, because when he said, and you can put it in double quotes, when did you even concentrate on your studies, Tata? And then close the double quotes. So they have asked which sentence made it prominent. So put this sentence in double quotes and you can write the sentence. It was evident when Mr. Knight thought poorly of Tata's academics when he said, when did you even concentrate on your studies, Tata? The next question, why was the accountant a popular man? The accountant was a popular man among the students because he also ran the school's tuck shop and many a times gave things on credit to the children, and hence he was favored by the children. Or you can write liked by the students. And now let's look at the summary. In no more than 50 words, describe the effects of the lost bell. Okay, so as there was no bell to rouse us. Okay, so this is one point. Everybody got up late. And there was no morning PT. That's point number 2. Some of us missed breakfast. Point number 3. Teachers got confused and mixed up their classes. Point number 4. And there was confusion. Okay. So when you write the summary, you can say that how was it before? Like there was order and decorum. But after the bell was lost, what effects took place? So these are my 4 points, and this is what I'm going to include in my summary. Now you cannot exactly copy this, so you have to write it in your own words, and also make sure that it does not exceed 50 words. So this is a sample summary that I have written. So it is written and there are total 46 words. So it is below 50. The bell maintained order and decorum in the school. But when it was lost, it caused chaos among students and teachers. When no one got up on time, few missed having their breakfast. Also, the morning PT was not performed and teachers mixed up their classes. So these are the effects of the bell not being there. So this is my summary. You can write it in different ways. You can also start with, there were numerous effects among students and teachers when the bell was missing. Firstly, no one got up on time. Few missed having their breakfast. Then, the morning PT was also not performed and teachers mixed up their classes. So, there are 1,000 million ways in which you can write the summary. So, you can write it however you like. But only make sure that the main points are added and you do not exceed 50 words. Also, make sure that there are no spelling mistakes or grammatical errors. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and please write and practice, because many students, they don't write and practice until the exam, and on the exam then they struggle. All the very best for your exam. Take care.